If you are struggling to talk to women, there's a high chance people tell you, oh, you need to be confident. If you're trying to start a business, people tell you, you need to be confident. And if you really think about it, everyone keeps trying to talk about confidence, confidence, confidence. But what is actually confidence? If confidence was an actual straight path, why are people struggling with confidence despite the fact that there are over 10,000 videos made on this topic? Why are people struggling with it? It's simply because what you call confidence is actually a scam. What we call confidence is actually a feeling. So if you think about it, now let's take a few steps back. Let's look at people who we call confident. Right? Look at anybody we call confident. For example, somebody who talks to girls. Why is he confident with girls? Somebody who runs a business. Why is he confident at the business? It's simply because they have been doing it. They have been doing it. That is why they are confident. But they keep on telling us, no, it's because they look confident. Now think about it. Right. Yes, looks plays a very minimal role. But guess what happens? Confidence just makes it look like you can get shit done. Now, the reason you don't feel confident at something is because you have not done it. Think about it. The guy who goes from shy to becoming a playboy, he had a phase where he was very shy to talk to women. At some point, he became very good at it because he had evidence to back it up. He took action to back it up. Same thing with people who have multiple businesses. You may call themselves confident. You may call them confident. That is simply because they went out there, they started the business, and guess what? It showed up very, very well. I'm saying this because there are people who say, oh, Stone, it's easy for you to say because you are confident. It's like, no. If you go back a few months into my videos, you'd realize that, yeah, I was okay there, but I didn't have this amount of energy when I spoke. Same thing with women. The number 100 woman I spoke to, I was way better than my number 10 simply because I put in the reps. I did it multiple times. Think about it. Any single person you see right now who is confident did not start out that way. Even your influencers, these people you see on the internet who are just, you feel like these guys have it all. Do you know how many years it took them? This is why I tell people that before you get into any field, before you get into any line, ask yourself, the people who are there at the top, what did it take them to get there? Because if you don't understand that this game of confidence being a scam is, people tell you, oh, if you buy this course, you become confident. If you buy my book, you become confident. If you buy, now it's not wrong to buy those books if you are willing to put the work into it. If you are willing to put the work, it's not bad buying those books, it's not bad buying the courses. But if you think that is all you need to feel confident, then guess what? You'll be lost. Because it's an internal problem you are trying to solve with an external solution. So confidence is built action by action. It's built because you become competent at that stuff. So now, if you really think about it, right, again, confidence depends on the area of life, right, where you are right now. A typical example is a guy who is confident with girls may not be confident in a different situation completely, right? So how do you handle this where you are confident in most situations? A typical example is, I had an analogy. You walk into a club. In that club, there's this confidence guy who has women on his side. On the other side, on the other part of the club, they have like a soldier who is there in the club. The moment bullets start flying around, the confidence guy runs away. The guy who is so confident with the girls, he runs so fast for his life. But the soldier is there, he's calculating, he's thinking, where are the bullets coming from? Because he's calm, he's confident in that situation because he has probably been in that case before. So that's why I'll say for a fact that confidence again is a feeling that comes from the fact that you have done it over and over and over again. So what that means is that if you understand this, see confidence as the effort you put into it over time. What that means is if you're afraid, exactly, men, exactly, you see this case where there are people who are smart in school. They're very smart in studies. But when it comes to women, they completely lack confidence. Now, I'll be giving you my system to building that confidence that can go into other areas of life. Although, normally, if you build confidence in one area of life as a man, guess what? The next area becomes easier to build confidence in. Then the next area also becomes better, easier to build confidence in. And that is what everybody is trying to achieve. But no, most guys are out there trying to achieve confidence only in a very few areas. Oh, I want confidence to speak to a girl. After that, you forget that you also need confidence to talk to clients. You need confidence to start a business. So what I'll say is this, that if you understand that confidence comes from the fact that you are willing to take that initial, you are willing to move, even though you feel that fear. You are willing to be bad at it at first. The code there is at first, right? Then it will begin to make sense to you. Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree 100%. Confidence has to be learned. Confidence 100% has to be learned. And it has to be, confidence can't be taught. It has to be learned and it has to be practiced. What that means is without the action, all of your learning will be useless. It's like trying to learn how to talk to women. You can watch 1,000 YouTube videos, but guess what? You still will not have the confidence to talk to them, to go and approach them. That's why you have all these plenty frameworks, how to be confident with women. But guess what? No matter what, you still have to do it. So I'll say this. If you want to build that confidence where in almost every area of your life, you are willing to what? You are willing to start from the beginning, knowing fully well that if you act on it, if you fail long enough, automatically at some point, you become confident. Is that you need a mindset shift of, okay, fine. This is hard now, but if I show up at it, guess what? One day I'll get that confidence. Rather than trying to rely on external validation, like, okay, you know what? Let me look good. If I look good, what will happen is women, it will be easier for me to approach women. This is why I tell guys that, guys, yes, looks are important, but they play a major role. What happens if you see a very attractive lady? What happens? You feel insecure. What happens if you see a lady who is talking to a guy who is richer than you? All of your money now becomes completely irrelevant. That's why the fact that you may just be the one that she likes based on vibes. Based on vibes. I'm telling you that your first step now to having that kind of true confidence is your mindset shift. The mindset that I can walk into any field, into any field of life. If I am willing to fail initially, if I'm willing to put in the work, the keyword there is fail because your initial stage will be a failure. That's why anytime you see anybody who is an overnight success, you would always see that they spent years failing. Keyword there is failing. Look at any field. You see celebrities pop out overnight, they become popular. You forget how many movies they have acted in. Right? They forget how many times they have failed. Someone will say, oh, Stone, you are very good at talking to the camera. See, no matter what, people who are even expressive to their friends, maybe at a party, they are very social. When it comes to creating content, most of them, they suck at it. They suck big time as speaking to the camera. They begin to stutter over their words. They begin to checkmate themselves in their head simply because at that moment, in this case, they don't have that backing, that action to back it up. So if you have that mindset that, you know what, I am new to this, but I'm new to this, I'm getting better at it. That is your first step. That's your first step towards being confident. Now, for me, this is what I do to make sure that I'm kind of like confident in any field I am walking into. Like I said, it's not ready-made. I know that if I go into this field, I'll be a beginner for a period. Beginner for a period. What I do is every single year, I'll do something new that's drastic, right? What I mean drastic is, this year was boxing for me, right? Again, boxing is not easy because you get hit in the face, real hit in the face. Last year was mixed martial arts. This year is boxing. I don't know what next year is going to be, but every single year, I do something that is tough, right? And as it's getting tough, I myself, I understand that I'm getting confident in that area. So whenever people come and say, oh, Stone, it's easy for you to say because you are confident. I say, no. Simply because I simply practice. I'll say I fail initially. At some point, it becomes easier for me to do it. Even when it came to sales, same thing. I failed. And guess what? This mindset to make you realize that you don't need validation from other people. You don't need it, right? So see action, see confidence as you laying your bricks over time. And at some point, you will get it. At some point, it will feel like because you have done the work on yourself so many times, people will say, oh, you're naturally confident. Like, nah. I'm willing to fail to the point where I get it right. And automatically, it becomes something that is part of me. It becomes my identity all of a sudden. But again, you cannot forge it. You can play some tricks, do the looks part, but it may never stay for life. If any of the ideas you heard in this video resonate with you, please share this video with a fellow brother who you know find it helpful, because confidence is something that should be trained, not something that should be quote unquote faked. Talk to you soon. And bye for now.